At this point, I'd like to look at control points for a site job. This is a subdivision, and we were provided with a control file. And what I'd like to do now is, as I talked about in the article, when we get control, what we like to do is kind of connect the dots and see what control does, because we're going to make that a fence around the project, and this is all the control we've got. So what we're looking at is just basically almost vertical control, a line that runs north to south, and we've got nothing that encases it. We really don't have a closed area. This area may be considered a closed area. If we connect different control points together, you could sort of make them a control area, but this is not desirable. And what we need to do is take a look at this job to see exactly what's required to get some good control. So we can conceivably connect this control point to the benchmark 1 over here, because that is how control will work. It will run long points and long distances as well as short ones. But as far as things go, you need to get a couple more points spun in to tighten this job up. And here is an initial look at what needs to happen as far as another point here and then another point here, and that would help a little bit but not really complete the control loop. We still have problems over here to the west, and that would need to get addressed. You'd want to make sure that you get additional control here, because you can start to lose accuracy. Vertical goes first, followed by horizontal, but we've seen vertical accuracy start to deteriorate in as little as 4 feet outside this control area. It's critical to make sure that your control surrounds the job site. In the article, I talked about roadway control and how oftentimes roadway control is placed along the right-of-way, and that provides very thin and oftentimes unstable control. Now, this is a demo job of a heavy highway project that has control shown with the white line, and you'll see some point indicators, if I can zoom in, some point indicators that show where the control points are. And true to form with a lot of highway work, these control points are placed along the right-of-way. Well, the right-of-way also extends to some of these side streets. That's good, except when control points are localized and you don't include these areas. So if you were to localize from this control point down to this one, include none of these, and then the control continued down the job, back over, and up the west side, what happens is these side streets are technically out of that control boundary that we like to see set up. Again, look at the control points like fence posts, connect the dots of control. If part of the project falls out of it, you're subject to inaccuracies and you need to get points outside. Another thing that we see, if I can zoom out here, is as a road curves, if your control doesn't take up the curve area, that's also a problem. So if you were to have control points set at several corners and feel like you got the job lined out, you'll see this rectangle doesn't pick up an area over here. So that curve places the control outside of that line where you connected the two control points. If the control continued up here, you would have some good luck with this side street, but from where the control line comes right about down the middle of this highway off to the east, it would be subject to inaccuracies. It's always important to verify that your control completely surrounds the job.